Decision Plus has been and still is a leading stock market service provider. From training to coaching, we cover it all. Try both our software as well as our coaching site, completely free for 10 days without obligation. No credit card is needed to sign up for the trial. The trial subscription will be automatically canceled for you at the end. DecisionPlus.com, your stock market service center. Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try MarketGurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above. Market Vision Plus is the trading companion of so many investors. Make your fundamental and technical analysis easy with Canada's #1 stock market decision-making software. Research, decide, and follow your positions with Market Vision Plus. See the menus just above this program and try Market Vision Plus for 10 days without any obligation after the show. When it comes to day trading, Trader Plus is the right tool. Track 50 quotes simultaneously, create dozens of quick lists, display as many as 30 real-time intraday charts at the same time. Watch the action with candlesticks or bar charts as fast as 10 seconds. See the market by sectors. Use the chart models already prepared for you. Try Trader Plus for 10 days in the menu above without any obligation.
Hello everybody, welcome to the Swing Trading Show. Today we're Wednesday, May 27, 2015. Today we have a special show because we have a special guest, Miss Lori McClenahan, CEO of NT Gold Mines. Technically speaking, we see that the stock is confirming a bottom. We have a stochastics here that's confirming it's about to reach the overbought situation. So we see that there's a slight wave of buyers who are coming in. Technically speaking, the stock will be a buy around 18 cents 53. So Miss McClenahan will be with us later, and if ever you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. So we'll see her later during the show. Now for the market situation today, folks, yesterday we had a slight sell-off in the market after the bad news coming out of Europe with Greece that threatened to default on its debt. So markets were digesting those bad news yesterday. Today we actually have a rebound, and this is why yesterday we were reluctant to recommend a lot of full short positions on the market because of the situation where markets were digesting the bad news coming out of Europe. Now you see here, technically speaking, the SPY actually rebounded on its 50-day moving average, just like he has done for the last several days here. So it's really a situation where we are bounded by the 50-day moving average and the 10-day moving average. So this rally that we have today on the SPY, on the NASDAQ though, I don't think that it's going to be a rally that will propel the markets higher. So the short positions that we have recommended on MarketGurus.tv that you can have access for free for 10 days, so far we're feeling comfortable to hold on to them. On the Dow Jones is the same situation. We're going actually slightly above the 30-day moving average, but we're unable to cross the 10-day moving average. And on the TSX, we're bounded with the 50-day moving average around 15,137 points and 15,013 points, which corresponds to the 200-day moving average. So it still remains a situation where markets are neutral. With today's rebound, most sectors that were in a bearish cycle yesterday became into a neutral cycle. So for swing trading, it's becoming really tough to determine, are there some opportunities? Should I buy the markets today? There are some exceptions I'm going to show you today in terms of the nicest buying signal during the day on the markets, but they're really exception, folks. And I don't think that today you should consider it as an opportunity to start to be on a buying spree on the market, especially when we take a look at some resources sector. For instance, look at the mining sector here. We have a confirmation of a bottom on the mining sector. However, to confirm that this sector will be interesting to open some positions for swing trading, I'd like to see a clearer confirmation. I'd like to see the sector going above 753 points, and then that will confirm a clear bullish cycle that could propel us towards 809. In terms of the best breakout in the sector, look at Nevsun Resources. It's an exception. So Nevsun Resources, yes, it's a nice buying signal. I think with the mining sector that remains neutral, with the situation here with the stochastics where the wave of buyers is not convincing enough, but it's starting to be present, I think a stock like Nevsun Resources, you could build up your long position on it, which means that instead of going with a full position, you might go in with a half or a quarter of a position, normal position, and continue to hold on to that stock as long as it maintains its upward trend. So the trend is your friend, and as long as the stock remains above 496, which corresponds to that support, there's no need to close that long positions. Major Drilling Group, well, that stock here, it's neutral right now, so I think for me the entry point is going to be around 681 because right now it's totally neutral. And First Quantum, it's confirming a sideways formation, totally neutral there. Entry point in First Quantum, $17 for a target of $18, which corresponds to that former resistance on First Quantum. Concerning energy, well, oil is pursuing its decline due to the rise of the US dollar that pursues its rally. And if we take a look here at the situation on natural gas, I know yesterday I said it was a go on the bearish ETF on natural gas such as HND. If you bought it yesterday, there's no need to close out positions, continue to hold on to it. And for the energy sector, the downward momentum continues to persist. On MarketGurus.tv, we actually have a short exposure on the energy sector, but mostly on the US. And our exposure on the energy sector is that bearish ETF here, which is ERY, that has been recommended on MarketGurus.tv on May 19th. So far, this ETF maintains its upward trend, but if ever the downward momentum continues on the energy sector, well, that's going to trigger a profit-taking opportunity on that bearish ETF. So the word of the day is no panic for the bearish positions you've opened yesterday. I hope you have not been greedy in the type of short positions you've opened yesterday, but so far with today's rebound, we still believe it's going to be short-lived. Now, let's take a look at some news here. We had some news on Tiffany's. Tiffany's did really great in terms of their earnings, so this is why the stock is surging. Toll Brothers, they beat estimates, but the stock took a hit. Chico's Factories as well in their earnings, they in line, but the stock took a big hit. Michael Kors really just missed by 1 cent, but I think it's because of their earnings forecast for the next quarter. The stock has been really punished, so oof, I would not like to be a Michael Kors shareholder, definitely not. BMO and National Bank released their earnings. BMO beat estimates, National Bank in line with estimates. I think BMO also hiked their dividends. So the financial stocks, the banks, our banks are continuing to do okay. They're still neutral, and the fact that they remain neutral, I think, will definitely help the TSX to stay within its sideways formation as well. Now I want to get into a Canadian company here, Crescent Point Energy. They decided to buy Legacy Oil and Gas. So Crescent Point, it's a stock deal. They will give Legacy Oil shareholders about 18.9 million of their shares. They also have some debt that they will buy the debt of Legacy Oil and Gas. Usually when a stock has a buy offer, it tends to go up, but I kind of don't understand. We tried to look at some article, but there were no details why the stock took a hit. I know that there was some hedge fund who was trying to get some positions on Legacy Oil and Gas, but 4 point, I think, but since then I don't know why the stock is not performing as much. Usually when a stock has an offer or buy offer, it tends to surge. Air Canada today, one of the nicest breakout as well in the industrial sector. We know the industrial sector, it's a sector that's still neutral. We have railway stocks that remain at the bottom, still an opportunity to build up your long positions on the railway stocks. And on Air Canada today, good news, because there was a special law that allowed the company to have some flexibility because they have some pension shortfall. And this law, actually, Air Canada got out of this regulatory environment because right now they have a pension surplus. So Air Canada, the CEO, the Air Canada company did a good job. They're actually able to pay their pension. They have a surplus. The stock is a clear breakout, clearly breaking an important resistance. So those of you who have been eyeing Air Canada for a while, well, it's a good entry point on Air Canada, and especially with the new fees that they want to charge for the luggage, well, only more money to be expected on Air Canada. Bad for consumers, but good for Air Canada shareholders. Now, let's take a look at some questions we had from yesterday. We had questions here in Teck Resources. Oops, Teck. Take a look at this. So, test the bottom at 15.19. Okay. Buy for possible rebound. Yes, well, there could be a buying opportunity for a possible rebound on Teck Resources. Those are the targets you have on Teck Resources, 1579 or 1672. However, I think, Anne, what you should look for is to see, right now we have tested the low of a downward corridor on Teck Resources, but I'd like to see the mining sector at least confirming a bullish cycle. I think with the mining sector that stays neutral, stays flat, it's inappropriate to over increase your exposure in the mining sector, and a stock like Teck Resources will be one of the leaders that will help the mining sector start a bullish cycle. But right now I'll be a little bit more patient. I think the triggers you could look for is, first of all, stochastics around the 30% range, a histogram more towards positive territory. I think this will give you the signal for Teck Resources. So that will be a buy if we have those conditions. If the mining sector starts a bullish cycle, and as for your target, 1588, 1674, because don't forget, Teck Resources still remains within a downward trend. So it's really likely that it might stabilize around 1575 for Teck Resources. Now, Pat, when do you think energy stocks will go up again? Thanks. Well, Pat, it's $1 million question, though. As I said, fundamentally speaking, I believe that it's going to take really an increase in demand for energy stocks to go up. We still have an oversupply. OPEC has not decreased production. Even the fire forest in Alberta, well, 9% of the oil production has been shut down, but still it has not created a wave of buyers into the oil companies, right? And even the strength of the US dollar, which was happening in the troubles in Europe and Greece, is going to have a negative impact on oil. So fundamentally speaking, with the excess of supply, with the fact that investors are rushing into the US dollar, this all are negative impacts on the energy stocks. And one thing I could suggest you to do is, if you want to buy some energy companies, you'll have to focus on the ones that actually were able to manage their operations and have cut their costs and are still being more efficiently run than other companies who have too much debt.
Find answers to your questions by emailing your host at btm@decisionplus.com.
5 good reasons to manage your investments with National Bank Direct Brokerage. Commission fees fixed at $9.95 anytime for all clients and starting at only $6.95 for active investors. No administrative fees if you hold at least $20,000 in your accounts. Registered accounts available in U.S. currency. Powerful tools to help you manage your portfolio. Award-winning customer service and satisfaction levels amongst the highest in the industry. To learn more, visit nbdb.ca or call us now.
Real-time coaching has been created. We search and classify critical reports and technical movements. You can visualize or hear the best buying and selling opportunities. Get real-time advice all day long and 3 live coaching shows per day. Let us do the work and save your time for trading. Try marketgurus.tv free without obligation for 10 days in the menus above.
So welcome back, folks. So we have one questions here on Jules. Jules bought NSU this morning. Good job, Jules. Good job at 513. Where do you see the possibility? Thanks. Well, right now it's tough to say what's the possibility on that stock because we're making an all-time high, right, Jules? I think the thing is that when you buy a stock like that, such a great entry point, the thing you should favor is that to take some profit while the stock maintains its upward trend. So you bought at 513. When you make 5%, so around 530 something, 540, you'll make about 5%. Take some profit on that stock, and you'll hold on to it as long as it maintains its upward trend. Now, by putting that stock here, I cannot even, let's say I put a Fibonacci retracement from that top to that bottom here. We see that we could have a possibility towards around 570. 570, 570, 550 for Nevsun Resources. So 535, you'll take some profit. 550, we might expect a pause on a stock like that, but really it's tough to give you a clear target. So this is why whenever you make a 5%, you take some profit, and by looking at the Fibonacci retracement, 550 could be a point where you could have another pause on a stock like that. But you got it at the great timing, Jules. Now we have, what's your take on BB, BlackBerry? Well, BlackBerry, the stock is still maintaining its upward trend, right? For me, it's still a hold. There's no need to close BlackBerry if you bought that stock on the breakout of May 22nd. Now, this is something that I don't like with BlackBerry, is the fact that we have continued to make, not new highs, but we have continued to rally, but the stochastics here was continuing to show negative tops. So for me, it's a sign that the wave of buyers that propelled the stock to this level here was not consistent enough. So for me, this is the risk factor I see on a stock like BlackBerry. However, the good thing why it's still a hold is that look at all those moving averages that are there around 1237, right? So for me, as long as it doesn't break those moving average, 1250, 1247, there's no need to close out positions on BlackBerry. Also, they announced that they might cut some employees to make their smartphone unit be more profitable. You know, when companies announce cuts, investors love it, and that might also be something that might allow BlackBerry to do well. But so far, BlackBerry, it's still a hold as long as it remains above 1250 for BlackBerry. The only risk I see is with the stochastics here that I don't like, with those negative tops on BlackBerry. So far, it's a hold. Now, I'm buying HView today if SPYs close at top. I think it's an alternative. It's an alternative you could do, for instance, for the SPY, because we believe it's going to be short-lived for the SPY situation. If it closes at the top, yes, I think it's an alternative. However, I don't know how HView will perform, because HView is based on the number of puts that investors buy. So if people don't buy as much put, maybe HView will not perform as much. So this is the risk that you have on HView, right? And but I still think that maybe you should not go with a full position, quarter, half position, because it's really a market situation where you cannot be. It's not clear, right? It's not clear if ever we're going to have the conditions to make a new high. It's going to be based on the economic indicators. There's still some fears that the Fed might raise interest rate in June. Some say no. So it's really unclear right now. So this is why I think if you're buying HView, if it goes at its top, it's a good alternative, but going gradually. HGD bought yesterday at 1104. HGD, so the gold sector, bearish ETF. Keep or sell at what price? You keep it as long as HGD stays above 1050, because 1050 corresponds to the reversal of the short-term upward trend. Now, as for the target to take some profit, it's clear, 1150 towards that former resistance here on HGD. So 1150 to take some profit, to close it 1050 on the reversal of the short-term upward trend. Now, I want to show you here, folks, the list of the best breakouts and breakdowns of the day. So this is the list, mostly on the TSX, because really it's an index where we did have today. We were lucky to have a lot of great opportunities. And as for the day trade of the day, it's that stock here, DCTH on NASDAQ. It was recommended on MarketGurus.tv since 940. So if we take a look at this stock here, we had several clear entry points, one here, one there. And since then, the stock now is stabilizing. So the new entry point is going to be around 160 on a stock like Delcat System. I believe it could stabilize there because we still have a selling pressure by looking at the stochastics on a stock like DCTH. So folks, stay there because Ms. Lori McLennan is going to be with us for NT Gold Mines. It's a company that was in the mining sector, now has diversified into the technology sector. So Ms. McClanahan is going to be with us to tell you why her company should represent your next investment. Stay with us.